Furiosa, released in 2024, stands as a monumental film not only for its gripping narrative and visual spectacle but also for its stellar cast that brought the dystopian world vividly to life. The actors chosen for the main roles were a blend of established stars and rising talents, each contributing unique elements drawn from their prior experiences. This ensemble's performances were widely praised, with many critics noting how the film elevated several careers and solidified the reputations of others. The cast's background, previous work, and transformation for their parts are crucial to understanding the film's success. The lead role of Furiosa was played by Anya Taylor-Joy, an actress whose career trajectory was already on a steep incline following acclaimed performances in films like The Queen's Gambit and Last Night in Soho. Known for her ability to portray complex and layered characters, Anya brought a fierce intensity combined with subtle vulnerability to Furiosa, a role demanding both physicality and emotional depth. Prior to Furiosa, Anya's work showcased her range in period dramas and psychological thrillers, but this film allowed her to venture fully into action-driven storytelling. The role required extensive preparation, including rigorous stunt training and combat choreography, which she embraced wholeheartedly. Her performance was widely regarded as a breakout, pushing her firmly into A-list status and opening doors for more leading roles in blockbuster action and science fiction genres. Furiosa became a defining moment in her career, showcasing her versatility and commitment to immersive character work. Opposite Anya Taylor-Joy was Chris Hemsworth, cast as a formidable antagonist whose presence dominates much of the film's tension. Hemsworth, known primarily for his portrayal of Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, brought a powerful physical presence and a nuanced portrayal of villainy to the film. Unlike his previous roles that often leaned toward heroism or comic relief, Furiosa allowed Hemsworth to explore darker facets of his range, presenting a complex antagonist driven by survival and power. His transition from superhero to dystopian villain was noted as one of the more refreshing career moves in recent years, demonstrating his willingness to tackle more challenging and diverse characters. The film's physical demands aligned well with Hemsworth's background in action and fitness, but his performance also revealed an emotional depth that added layers to a character that could have been one-dimensional. Joining the leads were supporting actors whose careers gained momentum due to the film's visibility. For instance, Tom Hardy, reprising a role closely tied to his previous dystopian work, brought a sense of continuity and gravitas. Hardy's intense preparation style and immersive acting approach helped solidify the film's gritty atmosphere. His presence bridged the original Mad Max universe with this fresh take, satisfying longtime fans and new viewers alike. This role further cemented Hardy's reputation as a go-to actor for intense, brooding characters in high-stakes environments. Supporting actress Florence Pugh portrayed a fierce ally to Furiosa, delivering a performance that combined emotional vulnerability with unyielding strength. Prior to Furiosa, Pugh's career was marked by critically acclaimed roles in films like Little Women and Midsommar. In this film, she further demonstrated her ability to hold her own in action-packed scenes, handling complex fight choreography and delivering powerful emotional beats that enriched the story. This role helped to broaden her appeal beyond dramatic indie films and solidified her status as a versatile leading lady capable of carrying major franchise roles. The cast also included lesser-known but impactful performers who brought authenticity and diversity to the world of Furiosa. These actors, many with theater backgrounds or from independent cinema, contributed to the film's textured social environment. Their performances added depth to the story's exploration of community, survival, and resistance, showing that casting choices went beyond star power to include actors capable of nuanced supporting roles. One interesting aspect of the casting process was how the director and producers sought actors who could embody both the physical and psychological demands of a post-apocalyptic setting. This approach led to intense auditioning and preparation phases, with many actors undergoing physical training regimes, stunt rehearsals, and character workshops. The cast's chemistry was often cited by critics as a highlight, with scenes of camaraderie, conflict, and tension feeling genuine and earned. The actor's ability to convey unspoken emotions through body language and facial expression was especially crucial in a film with minimal dialogue in some sequences, relying heavily on visual storytelling. The film also impacted the careers of several behind-the-scenes actors who gained wider recognition due to their involvement. For example, stunt performers and motion capture artists, integral to the film's action sequences, received praise for their seamless integration into the storytelling. The prominence of strong female roles, led by Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa, was particularly influential in Hollywood, contributing to ongoing conversations about gender representation in action films and leading to more opportunities for women in physically demanding and central roles. In summary, the cast of Furiosa was a carefully curated ensemble that combined established stars with emerging talent, all of whom brought distinct elements shaped by their previous work. The film served as a pivotal moment for many of the actors involved, either by expanding their range, solidifying their status, or providing a breakthrough into blockbuster cinema. Their performances were integral to the film's emotional and narrative power, grounding the high-octane action in relatable human experiences. The career impacts of Furiosa continue to resonate, marking it as a significant milestone in the landscape of contemporary cinema. Furiosa, released in 2024, quickly became more than just a film. It evolved into a cultural phenomenon that resonated across multiple spheres of society, influencing pop culture, social movements, fashion, and even political discourse. Its impact extended far beyond the cinematic experience, sparking conversations about gender roles, environmental concerns, and resilience in the face of adversity. The film's cultural footprint can be analyzed through its widespread references in other media, viral memes, fashion trends inspired by its aesthetic, and the broader social and political conversations it helped to catalyze. One of the most immediate cultural impacts of Furiosa was its role in reshaping the portrayal of female protagonists in action cinema. The titular character, portrayed by Anya Taylor-Joy, emerged as a symbol of strength, independence, and complex femininity. Unlike traditional action heroes who often rely solely on brute force or invincibility, Furiosa's character brought a nuanced perspective. She was a survivor shaped by hardship but driven by compassion and a deep sense of justice. This representation sparked a wave of discussions about gender dynamics in Hollywood, encouraging studios to prioritize complex female leads in genres previously dominated by male characters. Following the film's success, a noticeable increase in female-led action and sci-fi movies occurred, signaling a shift in industry priorities. The film's visual style and setting also influenced popular culture, particularly in fashion and design. The post-apocalyptic aesthetic featured a blend of rugged, utilitarian clothing combined with striking, symbolic accessories that became iconic. This look was widely adopted in streetwear collections, cosplay, and even high-fashion runways. Designers cited Furiosa as inspiration for collections that emphasize sustainability, recycling, and durability, aligning with the film's themes of resourcefulness and survival. Beyond clothing, the film's color palette and costume motifs inspired graphic design, album art, and advertising campaigns, embedding its visual language into everyday culture. Memes and social media trends quickly embraced the film's most memorable scenes and quotes. One particular line delivered by the protagonist became a rallying cry for empowerment on platforms such as Twitter and TikTok, often used to signify resilience and standing up against oppression. The character's image was frequently remixed in digital art and GIFs, often juxtaposed with contemporary political events or social justice campaigns. This meme culture played a significant role in maintaining the film's relevance months after its release, keeping conversations active and engaging a younger, digitally native audience. Furiosa also made a historical impact by highlighting environmental themes that resonated strongly amid growing global concerns about climate change and resource depletion. The film's depiction of a devastated world ravaged by scarcity served as a stark allegory for current ecological challenges. This connection was not lost on audiences or activists, who used the film as a cultural touchstone in discussions about sustainability, conservation, and the consequences of human exploitation of natural resources. Several environmental organizations incorporated imagery and language from the film into their campaigns, effectively bridging entertainment and advocacy. This crossover boosted the film's reputation as not only entertainment, but also a catalyst for awareness and change. Politically, Furiosa inspired debates about governance, power, and resistance. The dystopian society portrayed in the film, marked by authoritarian control and social stratification, mirrored real-world concerns about the erosion of democratic institutions and the rise of oppressive regimes. Grassroots movements and protesters adopted symbols from the film to express dissent, using Furiosa's defiance as a metaphor for fighting against injustice. This phenomenon was particularly notable in regions experiencing political unrest, where the film's narrative of rebellion and hope struck a chord. The character's journey underscored the importance of agency and solidarity, themes that resonated deeply with contemporary struggles for human rights and equality. In terms of media references, Furiosa was frequently alluded to in television shows, music videos, and literature released in the years following its debut. Its influence was visible in the rise of dystopian narratives across different formats, with creators drawing inspiration from its rich world-building and character-driven storytelling. The film's stylistic and thematic elements were often cited as benchmarks for quality in the genre, raising the bar for future productions. This intertextuality demonstrated the film's strong hold on the cultural imagination, establishing it as a modern classic within the sci-fi and action domains. Moreover, the film contributed to ongoing conversations about representation and inclusivity in the entertainment industry. By casting diverse actors in prominent roles and exploring themes of survival that transcended gender, race, and class, Furiosa challenged conventional Hollywood norms. This approach encouraged more inclusive storytelling practices and helped to diversify the types of narratives being told on a global scale. Industry professionals pointed to the film as a case study in how inclusivity could be woven seamlessly into blockbuster filmmaking without compromising artistic or commercial success. Finally, the film's legacy in popular culture was reinforced by extensive fan engagement. Fan fiction, art, and community events celebrating Furiosa proliferated online and offline, fostering a vibrant subculture around the film. Conventions dedicated to the film and its themes attracted thousands, creating a shared space for fans to explore the world and characters in depth. This level of engagement highlighted the film's ability to connect on an emotional level, creating a lasting cultural imprint. In summary, Furiosa achieved a remarkable cultural and historical significance by influencing not only cinema but also broader societal attitudes and creative expressions. Its impact was felt in how female heroes are portrayed, the ways environmental and political themes are discussed, and the aesthetic trends it inspired. The film transcended entertainment, becoming a symbol of empowerment, resilience, and change for a generation navigating complex global challenges. The making of Furiosa in 2024 was an epic journey that combined visionary directorial choices, painstaking preparation, and innovative filmmaking techniques to bring this post-apocalyptic world to life. The production process was marked by unique challenges, fascinating anecdotes, and collaborative creativity that not only shaped the final film but also enriched the experience for the cast and crew. Exploring these behind-the-scenes stories offers insight into the craftsmanship and dedication required to produce a blockbuster of this scale. From the outset, the film's director set a clear and ambitious vision for Furiosa. Determined to honor the legacy of the original Mad Max series while establishing a fresh narrative, the director emphasized practical effects, immersive world-building, and character-driven storytelling. This approach meant a heavy reliance on on-location shooting, large-scale stunts, and elaborate set pieces rather than overusing CGI. The director's insistence on realism in action sequences pushed the cast and stunt teams to undertake rigorous physical training and rehearsals to achieve authentic performances. One of the most notable production challenges was filming in harsh environments that reflected the film's desolate world. The majority of outdoor scenes were shot in remote desert locations, with extreme temperatures and difficult terrain creating a physically demanding environment for everyone involved. Cast and crew often had to work in scorching heat during the day and chilling cold at night, requiring careful logistical planning to maintain safety and morale. The use of practical effects, such as dust storms and pyrotechnics, required multiple takes and complex coordination between departments to achieve the desired dramatic impact while ensuring safety protocols were followed. The film's iconic vehicle sequences were some of the most complex and time-consuming parts of the shoot. Building on the tradition of the original franchise, the production designed and constructed custom vehicles equipped with unique modifications to fit the dystopian aesthetic. These vehicles were often operated under extreme conditions, performing high-speed chases, jumps, and crashes. Coordinating these stunts required a highly skilled team of drivers, riggers, and special effects technicians. One memorable anecdote from the set involved a near miss during a high-speed chase, where quick thinking by the stunt coordinator averted a potentially serious accident. This incident underscored the inherent risks and meticulous planning involved in these sequences. Casting choices also influenced the dynamics behind the scenes. Anya Taylor-Joy, known for her commitment to character immersion, spent weeks with the stunt team mastering combat techniques and vehicle handling. Her dedication inspired the cast and crew alike, fostering a collaborative atmosphere where actors were encouraged to push their limits. Chris Hemsworth's transformation into the antagonist involved significant physical preparation and prosthetic makeup sessions that often lasted several hours. His willingness to endure discomfort and fully embody the role earned him respect across the production team. The production design team played a crucial role in creating the film's immersive world. Working closely with the director and cinematographer, they crafted sets that combined post-apocalyptic ruin with elements of tribal culture and industrial decay. Many of the sets were built on location rather than relying on green screen, providing tangible environments that the actors could interact with. This tangibility added depth to performances and allowed the cinematography to capture rich textures and shadows. One interesting detail was the use of recycled materials and found objects in set construction, reflecting the film's themes of survival and ingenuity. Sound and music departments worked in parallel with filming to integrate the movie's intense atmosphere. The sound designers recorded on-location audio to capture natural environmental effects, blending these with design sounds for vehicles, machinery, and weapons. The composer began scoring early in production, using rough cuts of scenes to develop thematic motifs that would evolve alongside the editing process. The collaborative workflow ensured that audio elements were tightly synchronized with visual storytelling, enhancing tension and emotional resonance. Editing presented its own set of challenges, as the film's nonlinear narrative and frequent shifts in tone required careful pacing and balance. The editor worked closely with the director to weave together action sequences, quieter character moments, and flashbacks in a way that maintained suspense without sacrificing clarity. Multiple test screenings informed the final cut, with feedback leading to subtle adjustments in scene length and order. These refinements helped sharpen the narrative flow, contributing to the film's widespread acclaim for storytelling. Another intriguing behind-the-scenes aspect was the involvement of consultants who advised on practical matters related to survival, combat, and environmental conditions. Military advisors and survival experts contributed insights that shaped the portrayal of characters' skills and the design of their gear. Ecologists and environmental scientists provided input on how a devastated ecosystem might realistically appear, influencing the depiction of landscapes and fauna. This attention to detail lent the film an added layer of authenticity that resonated with audiences and critics alike. The collaborative spirit extended to the post-production phase, where visual effects teams enhanced practical footage without overwhelming it. Rather than creating entirely digital environments, visual effects were used to augment set extensions, enhance weather effects, and polish stunt sequences. This balanced approach preserved the film's grounded feel while allowing for imaginative elements that supported the story's dystopian vision. Several anecdotes from the set reflect the camaraderie and challenges faced by the team. For instance, during a long night shoot, the cast and crew reportedly bonded over shared meals and storytelling around a campfire, building relationships that translated into on-screen chemistry. Another story recounts how a sudden sandstorm forced an abrupt pause in filming, prompting an impromptu photo session that later became iconic promotional material. These moments illustrate the human element behind a technically complex production. In conclusion, The behind-the-scenes journey of Furiosa was defined by a commitment to practical effects, immersive world-building, and collaborative creativity. The challenges of filming in extreme conditions, the dedication of the cast to physically demanding roles, and the meticulous coordination of stunts and design all contributed to the film's authenticity and emotional impact. This comprehensive effort elevated Furiosa beyond a typical action movie, transforming it into a richly textured cinematic experience. The production stories and directorial choices provided deeper appreciation for the artistry and determination that shaped one of the most visually and narratively compelling films of the decade. Furiosa unfolds as a tightly woven narrative that masterfully blends high-stakes action with profound character-driven drama. The film storyline is constructed with deliberate pacing and a layered structure that invites viewers to engage not only with the surface-level thrills of a dystopian chase, but also with deeper emotional and thematic undercurrents. Its narrative architecture features key plot twists, turning points, and a climactic resolution that together create a satisfying and thought-provoking cinematic journey. The film opens with a gripping prologue that establishes the bleak post-apocalyptic world in which the story is set. The landscape is barren and hostile, governed by a tyrannical regime that controls precious resources, particularly water and fuel. The protagonist, Furiosa, is introduced as a fierce warrior and mechanic, a character marked by resilience and determination. From the outset, the narrative emphasizes Furiosa's internal conflict. She is torn between loyalty to her oppressive society and her desire to liberate those suffering under its rule. The story quickly gains momentum when Furiosa defects from the tyrant's stronghold with a group of captive women seeking freedom. This act of rebellion sets off a relentless pursuit, with the antagonist deploying ruthless forces to recapture her. The ensuing chase sequences are not merely spectacle. They function as narrative engines that propel the story forward while revealing character motivations and alliances. Each encounter along the journey serves as a test of Furiosa's leadership and the group's will to survive, highlighting themes of trust, sacrifice, and hope. Narratively, Furiosa employs a nonlinear structure that intersperses flashbacks with present-day events. These glimpses into Furiosa's past provide essential context for her motivations, revealing a childhood marked by loss and a formative relationship that shaped her worldview. This layered storytelling enriches the audience's understanding of her character, transforming what could have been a one-dimensional action hero into a deeply complex figure wrestling with trauma and redemption. The timing of these flashbacks is carefully controlled to maintain suspense and emotional impact, gradually unveiling critical backstory just as the stakes heighten. Key plot twists punctuate the narrative, most notably a betrayal within Furiosa's group that threatens to unravel their fragile alliance. This twist challenges assumptions and adds moral complexity, forcing characters to confront questions of loyalty and survival ethics. The revelation shifts the story's direction, intensifying the conflict and deepening the psychological tension. It also underscores the film's exploration of trust and the costs of freedom in a harsh, unforgiving world. The midpoint of the film marks a tonal shift, moving from desperate escape to active resistance. Furiosa and her allies reach a hidden community that embodies the hope for rebuilding and reclaiming agency. Here, the narrative expands to include broader social dynamics and ideological clashes, contrasting the oppressive regime with a vision of collective empowerment. This section deepens the film's thematic concerns while providing a breather from relentless action, allowing characters to develop relationships and explore their hopes and fears. The climax is a meticulously staged confrontation that combines physical spectacle with emotional resolution. The final battle is not just a fight for survival but a symbolic reckoning between tyranny and freedom, with Furiosa at its center. The sequence employs escalating stakes, inventive choreography, and emotional payoffs as characters confront their demons and embrace their destinies. The climax's resolution balances closure with openness, leaving room for interpretation while satisfying the narrative arc. Throughout the film, pacing is handled with precision. Intense action sequences are interspersed with quieter, character-focused moments that allow for reflection and emotional connection. This ebb and flow prevent fatigue and maintain engagement, ensuring that viewers remain invested in both the story's external conflicts and internal journeys. The screenplay's structure facilitates this balance, with scenes carefully crafted to build tension progressively. The narrative also benefits from strong thematic cohesion. Each plot development serves to reinforce underlying motifs of resilience, identity, and the quest for autonomy. Character decisions are consistently motivated by these themes, creating a unified story where plot and message intertwine seamlessly. The film's resolution reinforces this unity by emphasizing transformation and the possibility of renewal, resonating with audiences on both intellectual and emotional levels. In summary, Furiosa presents a sophisticated narrative structure that skillfully integrates action, character development, and thematic depth. Its use of nonlinear storytelling, strategic pacing, and well-placed plot twists create a compelling and immersive experience. The story's progression from survival to resistance, combined with a powerful climax, delivers a satisfying and meaningful conclusion. This careful narrative design contributes significantly to the film's critical acclaim and lasting impact. Furiosa is a film rich in thematic complexity and layered symbolism, weaving together a tapestry of ideas that elevate it beyond its surface as an action-packed dystopian adventure. The movie explores profound themes such as survival, identity, power, and redemption, all while employing a variety of visual and narrative symbols that deepen the viewer's engagement and invite multiple interpretations. The themes resonate with contemporary concerns and timeless human experiences, making the film both relevant and universally compelling. One of the central themes of Furiosa is survival, not merely in the physical sense but also as an emotional and moral struggle. The characters inhabit a harsh world where resources are scarce and danger is constant. Their fight for survival involves more than staying alive. It includes preserving hope, dignity, and connection amid chaos. This theme is reflected in the film's stark environments, the characters' rugged appearances, and the constant tension between cooperation and conflict within the group. Survival is portrayed as an active, ongoing process requiring courage, adaptability, and resilience. Closely intertwined with survival is the theme of identity. Furiosa's journey is as much about reclaiming her sense of self as it is about leading a rebellion. The film probes questions of personal history, memory, and transformation. Flashbacks reveal how past traumas have shaped Furiosa's identity, and her interactions with others reflect the struggle to reconcile those experiences with her present self. This exploration extends to other characters as well, many of whom grapple with roles imposed by their society or past mistakes. The narrative suggests that identity is fluid and forged through choices, relationships, and resistance against oppression. Power and its corrupting influence form another key theme. The film's antagonist represents authoritarian control, using fear and violence to maintain dominance over the Wasteland's inhabitants. This dynamic invites reflection on the nature of power, how it is acquired, exercised, and resisted. Furiosa's defiance serves as a counterpoint, embodying a more ethical and compassionate form of leadership. The tension between these two visions of power drives much of the plot and underscores the film's political subtext. It critiques systems that dehumanize individuals while celebrating those who fight for justice and equity. Redemption is woven through the story's arc, particularly in Furiosa's character development. Her quest to free the captive women is also a path toward atonement for past actions or failures. The film suggests that redemption is possible even in the bleakest circumstances, but it requires courage, sacrifice, and a willingness to confront painful truths. This theme resonates on a personal level and in the broader social context, highlighting the potential for renewal in broken worlds. Symbolism in Furiosa enhances these themes by providing visual and narrative anchors that enrich interpretation. One of the most prominent symbols is Furiosa's mechanical arm, which represents both loss and empowerment. It signifies the physical and emotional scars she carries, but also her ability to adapt and overcome adversity. The mechanical arm becomes a metaphor for the fusion of human vulnerability and technological resilience, reflecting the film's tension between nature and machinery. Water, As a scarce and precious resource in the film's desert landscape, serves as a potent symbol of life, power, and control. The struggle over water sources mirrors real-world ecological crises and symbolizes the broader fight for survival and autonomy. Scenes involving water are often charged with heightened emotion and conflict, underscoring its significance beyond mere utility. The vehicles in Furiosa carry symbolic weight as extensions of the characters' identities and social roles. Their rugged, customized designs reflect ingenuity and individuality in a world where conformity often means oppression. The vehicles also function as mobile fortresses and instruments of rebellion, embodying freedom and the constant movement toward change. Their roaring engines and aggressive aesthetics symbolize the raw energy and danger of the film's world. The barren landscapes themselves serve as a symbol of desolation and the consequences of human hubris. Yet within this wasteland, moments of beauty and resilience, such as rare patches of greenery or acts of kindness, signal hope and the possibility of regeneration. This contrast is visually emphasized through the film's use of color and composition, with muted earth tones dominating most scenes but punctuated by bursts of vibrant hues that mark moments of significance. Narratively, the film uses recurring motifs such as fire and light to symbolize destruction and renewal. Fire represents both the destructive forces at play and the spark of rebellion, illuminating paths to freedom even in darkness. Light, whether natural or artificial, often signifies knowledge, clarity, and the pursuit of truth. These motifs are integrated into key scenes, reinforcing the film's emotional and philosophical undercurrents. The theme of community versus isolation is also prominent. While the world of Furiosa is brutal and isolating, the formation of alliances and the creation of a new society highlight the human need for connection and collective strength. The film argues that survival is not solely an individual endeavor but a shared one, where solidarity can overcome tyranny. This theme is embodied in the diverse group of characters whose relationships evolve from mistrust to mutual support. In sum, Furiosa uses its thematic richness and symbolic imagery to craft a narrative that is both entertaining and intellectually stimulating. The film's exploration of survival, identity, power, and redemption resonates deeply with audiences, while its symbols offer layers of meaning that invite reflection. These elements work together to create a cinematic experience that is emotionally powerful and culturally significant, ensuring the film's lasting impact. Furiosa distinguishes itself through a striking visual style and masterful cinematography that not only serve the narrative, but also establish a powerful emotional tone throughout the film. The film's visual identity is a carefully crafted blend of raw realism and stylized artistry, reflecting the harshness of its post-apocalyptic setting while highlighting moments of beauty and humanity. The choices made in lighting, framing, color palette, camera techniques, and visual motifs work in concert to immerse the audience in the dystopian world and enhance storytelling on multiple levels. From the opening sequence, the film establishes a visual language grounded in gritty realism. The cinematography employs a mix of wide, sweeping shots of desolate landscapes and tight, intimate close-ups of characters' faces and hands. This juxtaposition creates a sense of scale and isolation while emphasizing the human element within the vast wasteland. The wide shots often frame the characters as small figures against imposing natural and man-made backdrops, underscoring their vulnerability and the overwhelming forces they confront. This framing technique deepens the viewer's emotional engagement, highlighting themes of survival and resilience. Lighting plays a crucial role in shaping the film's atmosphere. The filmmakers utilize natural lighting whenever possible to maintain authenticity, especially in outdoor scenes filmed in desert environments. Harsh sunlight casts long shadows and bleached colors, reinforcing the world's unforgiving nature. At times, dusk and dawn light create softer, warmer tones that provide visual relief and signal moments of reflection or hope. In contrast, interior scenes frequently use low-key lighting with stark contrasts between light and shadow to evoke tension and uncertainty. This chiaroscuro effect accentuates characters' emotional states, secrets, and moral ambiguity. The film's color palette is dominated by earthy tones, sandy browns, rusty reds, and muted grays that mirror the arid landscape and industrial decay. These subdued colors reinforce the barren and desolate mood. However, the filmmakers strategically introduce bursts of vivid color to draw attention to key narrative elements or emotional beats. For example, the vibrant green of rare vegetation or the rich blue of water sources stand out dramatically against the muted background, symbolizing life and hope. Costumes and props occasionally feature striking colors, such as Furiosa's distinctive headscarf, which become visual motifs representing identity and resistance. Camera work in Furiosa is dynamic and purposeful. The film frequently employs handheld shots during action sequences, creating a visceral, immersive experience that places the viewer in the midst of the chaos. These shaky, kinetic movements convey urgency and danger, making chase scenes and combat feel immediate and intense. Conversely, more static and carefully composed shots are used during character-driven moments, allowing emotions and details to be fully absorbed. The director of photography's skillful use of depth of field isolates characters against blurred backgrounds or brings multiple layers of the environment into sharp focus, subtly guiding the viewer's attention. A notable visual technique in the film is the use of long tracking shots that follow characters and vehicles across the desert. These sequences are choreographed with precision, blending complex stunt work and camera movement to maintain continuous tension and fluidity. Such shots emphasize the relentless forward momentum of the story and the harsh conditions of the world. They also showcase the production's commitment to practical effects and location shooting, enhancing the film's tactile realism. Special effects are used judiciously to complement rather than dominate the visual narrative. Practical effects, such as dust clouds, explosions, and pyrotechnics, are favored, contributing to the authenticity of the environment. Digital effects are seamlessly integrated to enhance backgrounds, extend set pieces, or create atmospheric elements like sandstorms and heat haze. This balanced approach prevents the film from feeling overly reliant on CGI, maintaining a grounded aesthetic that supports the storytelling. Visual motifs recur throughout Furiosa, reinforcing thematic concerns. One such motif is the constant presence of machinery, vehicles, weapons, and mechanical limbs that symbolize the interplay between human endurance and technological survival. The mechanical arm worn by Furiosa, often framed in close-up, becomes a recurring visual emblem of strength born from adversity. Another motif is the contrast between open desert vistas and claustrophobic interiors, visually representing freedom versus captivity and the tension between isolation and community. The production design further enhances the film's visual impact. Sets are richly detailed, with textures that convey age, decay, and reuse. Rusted metal, cracked concrete, and weathered fabric create a tactile world that feels lived in and believable. The cinematography capitalizes on these textures by using lighting and framing to emphasize surfaces and shadows, adding depth and complexity to each scene. Color grading in post-production refines the visual tone, applying subtle adjustments to enhance mood and consistency. Scenes shift in saturation and contrast to mirror narrative shifts, grittier, desaturated tones during moments of despair and richer, more saturated hues in scenes of hope or revelation. This visual modulation guides the audience's emotional response without being overt. In summary, the visual style and cinematography of Furiosa are integral to its storytelling power. Through a sophisticated combination of lighting, framing, color, camera movement, and visual motifs, the film creates an immersive world that is both harsh and hauntingly beautiful. These elements work together to convey the film's themes of survival, identity, and resistance, while engaging viewers on a sensory and emotional level. The result is a cinematic experience where every frame contributes meaningfully to the narrative and the film's enduring impact. The auditory experience of Furiosa plays a pivotal role in shaping the film's emotional depth and narrative intensity. The soundtrack and sound design are meticulously crafted to complement the visual storytelling, enhancing mood, pacing, and immersion. Through a carefully balanced blend of musical scoring, ambient sounds, and innovative sound effects, The film builds a rich soundscape that draws audiences deeper into its dystopian world, amplifying tension, character emotions, and thematic resonance. The musical score of Furiosa is an essential narrative element, composed with a vision to reflect both the desolate environment and the indomitable spirit of its characters. The composer utilizes a combination of orchestral and electronic elements, weaving together haunting melodies with pulsating rhythms that underscore the film's shifting emotional landscape. The music often features sparse, atmospheric passages that evoke isolation and vulnerability, contrasted by intense, driving motifs that fuel the action sequences and moments of confrontation. This duality mirrors the film's balance between quiet introspection and explosive conflict. Instrumentation plays a key role in the score's effectiveness. Traditional string sections provide a melancholic and humanizing quality, expressing the character's inner struggles and moments of loss or hope. Meanwhile, electronic synthesizers and percussive elements add a mechanical, sometimes harsh edge, reflecting the film's technological and post-apocalyptic setting. The fusion of organic and synthetic sounds reinforces the thematic tension between humanity and machinery that permeates the story. The composer strategically uses leitmotifs, recurring musical themes associated with specific characters or ideas, to deepen the audience's emotional connection. Furiosa herself is accompanied by a distinctive, resolute theme that evolves throughout the film, mirroring her personal growth and shifting circumstances. Other characters and narrative threads receive unique motifs that subtly cue the viewer into their significance and emotional state. These motifs reappear in varied forms, adapting to the scene's tone and intensity, enhancing narrative cohesion. Sound design in Furiosa is equally sophisticated, creating an immersive audio environment that brings the dystopian world to life. The film sound team employs a wide array of techniques to capture and manipulate natural and synthetic sounds, blending them seamlessly to construct the film's auditory identity. Environmental sounds, such as the howling wind across barren deserts, the distant rumble of engines, and the clanging of metal, are recorded with high fidelity and layered to establish spatial depth and realism. Mechanical sounds, particularly those associated with vehicles and machinery, are carefully crafted to convey power, menace, or resilience, depending on context. The roaring engines of armored war rigs become iconic audio symbols of danger and chaos, while the subtle creaks and whirs of Furiosa's mechanical arms serve as intimate reminders of her humanity and strength. The attention to detail in sound effects heightens the film's tactile realism and helps anchor fantastical elements in a believable sound world. Dialogue mixing and sound clarity are handled with precision, ensuring that conversations remain intelligible despite the often chaotic environment. At the same time, ambient noise and environmental sounds are balanced to avoid overwhelming the dialogue, maintaining a naturalistic feel. This careful mixing supports both narrative clarity and immersion, allowing the audience to focus on character interactions even amidst intense action. The film's soundscape also uses silence and restraint as powerful tools. Moments of quiet punctuate the narrative, drawing attention to character emotions or building suspense before dramatic events. These silences create contrast with louder scenes, making the impact of sound effects and musical crescendos more profound. This dynamic use of sound and silence enhances pacing and emotional rhythm. During high-octane chase and battle sequences, the sound design intensifies, layering multiple elements: engine roars, explosions, weapon fire, and rapid footsteps to generate a visceral, almost overwhelming sensory experience. The sound editing ensures that each element remains distinct enough to be appreciated, yet melded into a cohesive whole that propels the energy and tension. This complexity adds to the film's realism and emotional engagement, immersing viewers in the perilous world the characters navigate. The soundtrack also supports thematic motifs through sound. For instance, the recurring use of metallic percussion can be interpreted as echoing the clash between humanity and machinery, while distorted electronic tones often underscore moments of psychological tension or moral ambiguity. These auditory symbols reinforce the film's conceptual depth and invite repeated listening for further discovery. In select emotional scenes, the score softens to underscore vulnerability and connection. Here, melodic lines become more lyrical and less rhythmically driven, allowing the music to evoke empathy and highlight character intimacy. These moments contrast with the film's overall intensity, providing emotional balance and reinforcing the human element at the story's core. The film's sound editing and mixing also contribute to world-building by capturing the ambient noises of the environment in a way that reflects cultural and technological details. The unique sound profiles of vehicles, weapons, and machinery serve as auditory cues about their origins and functions, enriching the narrative's background without relying on exposition. This subtle approach helps maintain storytelling momentum while building a convincing world. Finally, Furiosa uses its soundtrack and sound design to facilitate narrative transitions and signal shifts in tone. Musical cues and changes in environmental sound texture guide the audience through scene changes and emotional beats, enhancing narrative coherence. These auditory markers help orient viewers and underscore the film's carefully crafted pacing. In conclusion, the soundtrack and sound design of Furiosa are integral to its cinematic success. The combination of a nuanced, hybrid musical score with detailed, immersive soundscapes creates a rich auditory experience that complements and elevates the film's visual storytelling. The sound elements contribute to mood, tension, and character depth, ensuring that the film resonates powerfully on both an emotional and sensory level. This meticulous audio craftsmanship plays a crucial role in engaging the audience and making the world of Furiosa vivid and unforgettable. Furiosa was met with widespread acclaim from both critics and audiences, solidifying its status as a major cinematic event in 2024. The film's reception highlights a broad appreciation for its ambitious storytelling, visual innovation, and thematic depth, though it also sparked nuanced discussions and some controversy. This blend of praise and critique reflects the film's complexity and the expectations it carried as a prequel to a beloved franchise. Critically, Furiosa was lauded for its bold expansion of the original narrative universe. Reviewers praised the film's ability to stand on its own while deepening the mythos of its predecessor. Many highlighted the lead performance, direction, and technical achievements as key strengths. The film's commitment to practical effects, authentic location shooting, and immersive world-building earned particular commendation, marking it as a return to form for the dystopian action genre. Cinematography and sound design were frequently singled out for their roles in creating a visceral, sensory experience. The performance of the lead actor playing Furiosa received overwhelming positive attention. Critics noted how the actor brought nuance and emotional complexity to a character that could have easily been reduced to a simple action hero. The layered portrayal was seen as a defining element that elevated the film's narrative stakes and emotional resonance. Supporting actors also received praise for their contributions, with many noting the strong ensemble chemistry and believable character dynamics. From a narrative perspective, the film was praised for balancing intense action sequences with thoughtful character development. The screenplay structure, use of flashbacks, and thematic richness were often highlighted as evidence of sophisticated storytelling rarely seen in the genre. The film's exploration of themes such as identity, power, and redemption was regarded as a refreshing depth in a blockbuster context. Audience reception mirrored critical acclaim, with many viewers expressing enthusiasm for the film's fresh take on the franchise's world and characters. Social media buzz was significant, with fans sharing favorite scenes, memorable lines, and visual highlights. The film inspired lively discussions and fan theories, demonstrating its impact on popular culture. Box office numbers reflected strong commercial success, particularly notable given the film's darker tone and complex narrative compared to typical action blockbusters. However, Furiosa was not without its controversies and criticisms. Some viewers found the film's pacing uneven, with moments of introspection slowing the momentum. A few critics argued that the dense thematic content occasionally overshadowed the action, potentially alienating fans seeking pure escapism. Others pointed to the film's bleak tone and harsh visuals as challenging for mainstream audiences, though these same elements were praised by others for their authenticity and boldness. The film's representation of gender and power dynamics also sparked debate. While many celebrated the strong female lead and the film's feminist undertones, some critics questioned whether the narrative fully escaped certain tropes or if it romanticized violence as a means of empowerment. These discussions contributed to the film's cultural dialogue and showcased its relevance in contemporary conversations about media representation. Awards season further validated the film's artistic achievements. Furiosa received multiple nominations across major ceremonies, including recognition for acting, direction, cinematography, sound design, and production design. It won several technical awards, affirming its excellence in crafting an immersive cinematic environment. The lead actor's performance was honored with prestigious acting nominations, cementing their breakthrough role. These accolades enhanced the film's prestige and solidified its place in the year's most significant cinematic works. Despite its critical success, the film also faced backlash in certain online communities, where some fans of the original franchise expressed dissatisfaction with the prequel's tone and narrative choices. This division underscored the challenge of expanding beloved universes while balancing innovation and fan expectations. Nevertheless, the discourse remained mostly respectful, reflecting a healthy engagement with the film's themes and execution. In summary, Furiosa achieved a remarkable reception characterized by strong critical praise, enthusiastic audience support, and meaningful cultural conversation. While not universally adored, the film's bold creative choices and technical mastery were widely acknowledged. Its ability to inspire debate, emotional responses, and sustained interest speaks to its significance within both the genre and contemporary cinema. The mixture of acclaim and critique highlights Furiosa as a complex, ambitious work that challenges and rewards its viewers. Furiosa has quickly established itself as a landmark film whose legacy extends well beyond its initial release. Its impact is felt across the cinematic landscape, influencing filmmakers, inspiring new works, and reshaping expectations for action and dystopian genres. The film's innovative approach to storytelling, technical excellence, and cultural relevance have secured its place as a modern classic, with reverberations evident in subsequent projects and industry trends. One of the most notable aspects of Furiosa's legacy is its influence on future filmmakers and creatives. Directors and cinematographers have cited the film's visual style and immersive world-building as a benchmark for how to craft post-apocalyptic environments with authenticity and emotional depth. The film's combination of practical effects with carefully integrated digital technology has been especially praised, encouraging a renewed appreciation for tangible, on-location shooting in an era dominated by green screens and CGI. This approach has inspired several upcoming productions to reconsider how they balance realism and spectacle. Narratively, Furiosa has impacted the genre by demonstrating that blockbuster action films can successfully incorporate complex themes and character-driven storytelling without sacrificing entertainment value. Screenwriters and storytellers have drawn lessons from its sophisticated narrative structure, which blends high-stakes action with emotional arcs and philosophical inquiry. This has contributed to a broader trend of genre films exploring more nuanced social and psychological issues, elevating audience expectations and expanding the possibilities of popular cinema. The film's success has also spurred the development of sequels, spin-offs, and expanded universe projects. Production companies have announced plans to explore other characters and storylines introduced in Furiosa, indicating the film's role as a cornerstone for a new franchise era. These developments reflect both the film's strong world-building and its commercial viability, signaling a sustained interest in the narrative world it helped establish. Merchandising connected to Furiosa has been significant, ranging from action figures and collectibles to apparel and digital content. The design aesthetic of the film, particularly its distinctive vehicles, costumes, and technological motifs, has resonated with fans and consumers, fueling a robust market for related products. This merchandising success reinforces the film's cultural penetration and its ability to engage audiences beyond the cinema. Furiosa has also influenced popular culture in a variety of ways. Its imagery and themes have been referenced in music videos, graphic novels, and fashion, reflecting its broad appeal. The character of Furiosa, in particular, has become an icon of strength and resilience, inspiring artists, activists, and creators across disciplines. The film's motifs have been incorporated into cosplay and fan art communities, further embedding it within contemporary cultural expression. In academic and critical circles, Furiosa has sparked extensive analysis and discussion. Scholars have examined its themes of power, identity, and environmental crisis, situating it within larger conversations about dystopian media and cultural narratives. This attention has helped establish the film as a subject worthy of serious study, contributing to its longevity and influence. Technologically, the film's achievements in sound design and cinematography have set new standards. Workshops and industry panels often cite Furiosa as a case study in effective integration of sound and visuals to create immersive experiences. Its innovative use of long tracking shots, practical effects, and atmospheric soundscapes continues to be studied by professionals and students alike, ensuring that its technical lessons are passed on to future generations. Importantly, the film has also had a social impact by amplifying conversations about gender representation and empowerment in mainstream media. Its portrayal of a strong, complex female protagonist leading a resistance has challenged traditional genre norms and inspired dialogue about inclusivity and diversity in storytelling. This cultural shift is part of the film's broader legacy, encouraging studios and creators to invest in diverse voices and narratives. In summary, the legacy and influence of Furiosa are multifaceted and far-reaching. The film has redefined visual and narrative expectations for dystopian action cinema, inspired a new wave of creative projects, and contributed to ongoing cultural and academic discussions. Its success has fostered a renewed appreciation for practical effects and thematic depth in blockbuster filmmaking, while its iconic characters and imagery have left an indelible mark on popular culture. As the film's universe continues to expand through sequels and related media, its influence is set to grow, solidifying Furiosa as a seminal work in 21st century cinema. Furiosa has resonated deeply with audiences across diverse demographics, inspiring a wide spectrum of emotional responses and interpretations. Its reception by viewers reveals the film's capacity to connect on multiple levels, visually, emotionally, intellectually, and its influence on contemporary culture is reflected in how different generations have engaged with its themes, characters, and story. The varied reflections and interpretations from audiences illuminate the film's multifaceted impact and its significance as a piece of modern cinema. For many viewers, Furiosa offered a powerful representation of resilience and hope in the face of adversity. Audiences praised the film's portrayal of a strong, determined protagonist who confronts seemingly insurmountable challenges without losing her humanity. This depiction resonated especially with younger generations seeking inspiring role models who embody courage, self-reliance, and moral complexity. Social media platforms were flooded with posts expressing admiration for Furiosa's character arc, her strength, and her vulnerability, creating a communal sense of empowerment among fans. Older generations often reflected on the film's broader social and environmental themes. Many interpreted Furiosa as a cautionary tale about the consequences of unchecked technological progress, environmental degradation, and authoritarian governance. This perspective led to thoughtful discussions about real-world parallels and the urgent need for sustainable and ethical practices. For some viewers, the film served as a wake-up call, prompting reflection on society's current trajectory and the importance of activism and responsibility. The film's depiction of a post-apocalyptic world struck a chord with audiences attuned to contemporary anxieties about climate change, resource scarcity, and political instability. Furiosa tapped into these fears while offering a narrative of resistance and potential renewal, allowing viewers to process complex emotions through the lens of speculative fiction. This dual function as both entertainment and allegory contributed to its emotional impact and enduring relevance. Audience reactions also revealed varied interpretations of the film's tone and pacing. Some viewers appreciated the deliberate narrative rhythm, valuing moments of quiet introspection that allowed characters' emotions and motivations to unfold gradually. These viewers saw the film as a thoughtful meditation on survival and identity rather than a conventional action blockbuster. Conversely, others preferred a faster pace and more frequent action sequences, feeling that the slower moments sometimes diluted the film's momentum. This divergence highlights the film's willingness to challenge genre expectations and engage audiences in different ways. The complex female-led narrative also sparked important conversations about representation and gender dynamics in media. Many female viewers expressed a strong connection to Furiosa's journey, seeing it as a reflection of real-world struggles for autonomy and recognition. The film's exploration of female agency, solidarity, and leadership was widely celebrated and considered a meaningful contribution to ongoing efforts to diversify cinematic storytelling. Discussions about Furiosa as a feminist icon were common, often accompanied by personal reflections on empowerment and identity. Conversely, some viewers critiqued the film's portrayal of violence, questioning whether its graphic depictions were necessary or whether they risked glamorizing trauma. These debates underscored the complexity of representing harsh realities within entertainment and the varied thresholds of audience comfort. The film's willingness to confront such difficult issues sparked ongoing dialogue about the ethics of storytelling and audience responsibility. Fan communities played a significant role in shaping the film's cultural footprint. Online forums, fan art, and cosplay events celebrated the film's characters and aesthetics, fostering a vibrant subculture of creative engagement. Fans dissected plot details, shared theories, and expressed emotional reactions, forming networks of support and enthusiasm that extended beyond the theater experience. This grassroots enthusiasm helped maintain the film's momentum and contributed to its lasting popularity. International audiences also brought diverse perspectives to their interpretations. Cultural contexts influenced how themes of survival, power, and resistance were perceived, enriching the film's global resonance. In some regions, viewers connected the story to local histories of struggle and liberation, while in others, the film sparked interest in environmental activism and social justice. This wide-ranging engagement speaks to the film's universal appeal and its ability to address fundamental human concerns. In personal reflections, many viewers noted how the film's ending left space for hope and ambiguity, prompting contemplation about the future of the characters and the world they inhabit. This open-endedness encouraged repeated viewings and discussions, as audiences sought to interpret the film's messages and implications more deeply. The film's capacity to inspire reflection long after the credits rolled is a testament to its narrative strength and emotional resonance. In conclusion, the audience reflection and interpretation of Furiosa reveal a film that transcends simple entertainment to become a cultural touchstone. Its themes of resilience, identity, and resistance resonate across generations and cultures, fostering dialogue and emotional connection. The film's nuanced portrayal of characters and its willingness to explore complex issues invite diverse readings and sustained engagement. Through these varied audience responses, Furiosa has established itself as a film that challenges, inspires, and endures. Furiosa stands out not only for its striking visuals and immersive world-building but also for its rich character development and compelling arcs. Central to the film's narrative is the evolution of its protagonist, Furiosa, whose journey embodies themes of redemption, resilience, and identity. Alongside her, several key characters undergo transformative experiences that intertwine to deepen the story's emotional and thematic complexity. This page will explore the growth, motivations, conflicts, and relationships of the main characters, analyzing how their arcs contribute to the film's overall impact. At the heart of the film is Furiosa, whose development is both the emotional core and driving force of the narrative. Initially introduced as a hardened and determined warrior, Furiosa's character gradually reveals layers of vulnerability, past trauma, and moral conviction. Her arc is shaped by her quest for freedom, not just physical escape from oppressive forces, but also liberation from personal guilt and the scars of her past. Throughout the film, Furiosa struggles with the weight of responsibility, balancing fierce independence with a growing recognition of the power of community and trust. Her mechanical arm serves as a potent symbol of her resilience and the melding of human vulnerability with technological strength. Early scenes emphasize her tactical acumen and survival skills, but as the story progresses, her internal conflicts become more visible. The film skillfully uses flashbacks and quiet moments to provide insight into Furiosa's motivations and emotional wounds, allowing the audience to empathize with her struggles. By the climax, Furiosa emerges not just as a warrior, but as a leader who embraces hope and connection, completing a powerful arc from solitary fighter to a symbol of collective resistance. Complementing Furiosa's journey is the character of Nux, a loyal yet conflicted warrior whose own transformation underscores themes of faith, loyalty, and redemption. Initially a fervent follower of the tyrannical regime, Nux begins the story driven by blind devotion. However, through his interactions with Furiosa and the group, he experiences a profound shift in perspective. His arc traces a path from zealotry to self-awareness, culminating in acts of sacrifice that highlight the film's message about the possibility of change and the complexity of human nature. Nux's development offers a nuanced portrayal of someone wrestling with identity and allegiance, enriching the film's exploration of moral ambiguity. Another pivotal figure is the Dag, a younger character whose innocence and curiosity contrast sharply with the harshness of the world around her. The Dag's arc represents hope and the possibility of a future unburdened by past traumas. Her evolving relationship with Furiosa and other characters brings out moments of tenderness and vulnerability, reminding the audience of the stakes involved in their fight for survival. The character serves as a narrative anchor, grounding the story in human connection and the desire for renewal. The antagonist, Immortan Joe's successor, embodies the oppressive forces that the protagonists resist. While less developed in terms of emotional complexity, this character's presence is essential for driving the plot and establishing the stakes. The film explores his motivations as rooted in a desire for control and power, creating a foil to Furiosa's quest for freedom. The conflict between these two figures symbolizes the broader thematic clash between tyranny and liberation. Supporting characters, including members of Furiosa's resistance group, also experience subtle, but meaningful development. Their backgrounds and personal stakes are revealed gradually, adding texture and depth to the ensemble. These characters' interactions highlight themes of trust, loyalty, and sacrifice, underscoring the film's focus on collective action over individual heroism. The group dynamic evolves as challenges test their bonds, revealing fractures and strengths that propel the narrative forward. The film excels in depicting relationships as catalysts for character growth. Furiosa's evolving connections with her allies facilitate moments of vulnerability and self-discovery. These relationships challenge her initial self-reliance and encourage her to embrace collaboration and empathy. Romantic or familial undertones present in some interactions deepen emotional resonance without overshadowing the film's primary focus on survival and resistance. Conflict serves as a crucible for transformation throughout the story. Characters face both external threats from enemies and internal struggles with fear, guilt, and doubt. These conflicts drive decisions that shape their trajectories and reveal core aspects of their identities. The film's writing ensures that character choices feel motivated and authentic, enhancing the emotional stakes and audience investment. The character arcs also engage with broader themes of identity and agency. Furiosa's journey, in particular, grapples with questions of self-definition beyond physical scars or societal roles. Her evolution reflects a reclaiming of autonomy and a reimagining of strength that incorporates compassion and resilience. This layered portrayal challenges traditional action hero archetypes and contributes to the film's cultural significance. In terms of narrative pacing, the film balances character-driven moments with high-intensity action, allowing viewers to experience both adrenaline and introspection. This approach enriches character arcs by giving them space to breathe and evolve organically rather than being confined to plot necessities. The result is a more immersive and emotionally satisfying story. In conclusion, the character development and arcs in Furiosa are integral to its storytelling power. Furiosa's transformation from a solitary warrior to a leader symbolizes broader themes of redemption, hope, and identity. Supporting characters provide complementary perspectives and deepen the narrative's emotional texture. Through carefully crafted relationships, conflicts, and motivations, the film delivers a resonant exploration of human resilience and the quest for freedom. These character journeys ensure that Furiosa resonates not only as a thrilling action film but also as a meaningful and emotionally complex narrative. The visual storytelling in Furiosa is powerfully enhanced by its meticulous costume and set design, both of which play a critical role in establishing the film's dystopian world, character identities, and mood. These elements are far more than mere background or decoration. They function as vital narrative tools that convey time period, social hierarchy, personality traits, and the harsh realities of the film's environment. This page explores how costume and set design contribute to the immersive experience of Furiosa and deepen the audience's understanding of its characters and themes. Costume design in Furiosa reflects a careful balance between functionality and symbolism, capturing the essence of the characters while grounding them in a believable post-apocalyptic setting. The protagonist's costume is one of the film's most iconic visual signatures. Furiosa's attire, weathered, utilitarian, and marked by practical adaptations like her mechanical arm, immediately communicates her resilience and resourcefulness. The use of distressed fabrics, muted colors, and tactical accessories highlights her role as a warrior hardened by the Wasteland environment. The subtle but distinct details, such as scarring and wear on her clothing, tell a story of countless battles and survival against overwhelming odds. Supporting characters' costumes are similarly crafted to reflect their personalities, status, and allegiances. For example, the film contrasts Furiosa's pragmatic outfit with the more ostentatious and symbolic costumes of the antagonistic forces. The villainous faction's attire incorporates militaristic elements with high-gloss materials and aggressive designs, visually emphasizing their authoritarian control and detachment from the desolate world they dominate. This contrast serves to underscore the power dynamics and ideological divides central to the film's conflict. The costume design team also drew inspiration from various real-world cultures and historical periods, blending these influences into a unique aesthetic that feels both timeless and futuristic. Elements of tribal, industrial, and punk styles combine to create a layered visual language that enhances the world building. For example, the use of leather, metal hardware, and repurposed materials speaks to a society forced to innovate from the remnants of a collapsed civilization. This bricolage approach reinforces themes of adaptation and survival. Makeup and prosthetics further augment the characters' appearances, emphasizing their physical and emotional scars. Furiosa's mechanical arm is a standout feature, designed with both mechanical realism and artistic flair, symbolizing loss and empowerment simultaneously. Facial scars and dirt are not simply cosmetic, but narrative devices that illustrate the harsh conditions and personal histories of the characters. These elements contribute to the film's gritty realism and emotional impact. Turning to set design, the film excels at creating immersive environments that evoke the bleakness and danger of the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Filming on location in vast desert landscapes, the production design team enhanced natural features with constructed elements like derelict vehicles, makeshift fortresses, and sprawling encampments. These sets were painstakingly detailed to reflect a world where resources are scarce and every object has been repurposed for survival. The tactile quality of the environments draws viewers into the story's harsh reality and grounds the film's more fantastical elements. The interiors of various locations also reveal much about the world and its inhabitants. Cramped, dimly lit spaces filled with salvaged technology and rough-hewn furnishings contrast sharply with the open, unforgiving desert outside. These settings communicate isolation, danger, and the character's constant struggle for control and safety. The set design uses texture, color, and spatial arrangement to reinforce mood and narrative tension throughout the film. Symbolism is embedded in the set pieces as well. For instance, the recurring imagery of rusted metal, broken machinery, and faded propaganda posters serves as a visual reminder of societal collapse and lost ideals. The contrast between decaying infrastructure and the character's determination to survive highlights themes of decay and resilience. The production team's attention to these details creates a layered environment that supports the film's thematic depth. Noteworthy design choices include the iconic vehicles, which are almost characters themselves. Their rugged, customized appearances reflect the characters who pilot them and the world they inhabit. The vehicle's design merges aesthetic creativity with practical storytelling, showcasing the film's blend of high-octane action and grounded realism. Lighting design within sets is carefully integrated to complement the costume and environment. Harsh sunlight, long shadows, and dust storms add to the oppressive atmosphere, while interiors are often lit with flickering fires or dim lamps, enhancing the sense of danger and scarcity. This interplay of light and shadow also accentuates textures and details in costumes and sets, enriching the visual experience. Overall, the costume and set design of Furiosa are essential to the film's storytelling, providing a rich visual context that deepens character development and thematic exploration. These elements work in harmony to create a believable and compelling world where every detail, from fabric choice to architectural style, carries narrative weight. The film's success in this area contributes significantly to its immersive power and lasting impression on audiences. The script of Furiosa is a fundamental element that shapes the film's tone, pace, and emotional resonance. Unlike many action-driven blockbusters that prioritize spectacle over substance, this film's screenplay offers a carefully balanced blend of compelling dialogue, character development, and narrative propulsion. The dialogue and scriptwriting contribute significantly to defining the characters, advancing the plot, and enhancing the overall cinematic experience. This page explores how the screenplay's quality, style, and structure influence the film's storytelling, including memorable lines, use of exposition, humor, and the pacing of conversations. One of the most striking features of Furiosa's dialogue is its economy and precision. The script avoids excessive verbosity, favoring concise, impactful exchanges that convey critical information and emotional subtext efficiently. This approach aligns well with the film's gritty and austere setting, where survival often depends on quick thinking and clarity. Characters communicate with a mix of directness and subtext, allowing the audience to infer underlying tensions, alliances, and conflicts without overt exposition. This style respects viewers' intelligence and encourages active engagement with the story. Memorable lines in the film often encapsulate key themes or reveal character motivations. For instance, Furiosa's statements frequently blend stoicism with a hint of underlying pain or determination, creating moments that linger in the audience's memory. These lines serve not only as dramatic highlights but also as windows into her psyche, reinforcing her complexity. The script also balances such serious moments with quieter, more reflective dialogue that deepens the emotional texture of the narrative. Humor in Furiosa is used sparingly but effectively, often emerging organically from character interactions rather than forced jokes. This subtle use of humor provides relief from the tension and adds dimension to characters, making them more relatable and human. Wry remarks or understated banter between characters help to build camaraderie and contrast with the film's high-stakes environment. The humor complements rather than detracts from the film's serious tone. Exposition is handled with sophistication, skillfully woven into dialogue and action to avoid disrupting the narrative flow. Instead of relying on lengthy explanations, the script employs show, don't tell techniques, allowing viewers to piece together the world's rules, history, and stakes through context clues and character behavior. When exposition is necessary, it is delivered through natural conversations or moments of reflection, maintaining immersion. The pacing of conversations varies to suit the scene's mood and purpose. Intense or confrontational scenes feature rapid-fire exchanges that heighten tension and urgency, while more intimate moments allow for slower, more deliberate dialogue that explores character emotions and relationships. This variation prevents monotony and sustains audience interest, contributing to a dynamic narrative rhythm. The screenplay excels in creating distinct voices for each character, ensuring that dialogue reflects their personalities, backgrounds, and current emotional states. Furiosa's speech is measured and purposeful, while supporting characters have speech patterns and vocabulary that align with their roles and histories. This attention to linguistic detail enhances characterization and helps viewers connect with the characters on a deeper level. The script also adeptly uses silence and pauses, recognizing that what is left unsaid can be as powerful as spoken words. Moments of silence between characters often convey tension, contemplation, or emotional vulnerability, adding layers of meaning that enrich the viewing experience. These beats allow space for the audience to absorb the narrative and emotional weight of scenes. Conflict is a driving force in the script's dialogue, with conversations frequently serving as battlegrounds for ideological, emotional, or power struggles. These exchanges reveal characters' values, fears, and desires, providing insight into the underlying motivations that propel the plot. The dialogue's tension and subtext add complexity to interactions, preventing them from becoming predictable or superficial. The script structure is carefully crafted to balance exposition, character development, and action. Each act builds on the previous one, with dialogue contributing to escalating stakes and deepening emotional investment. Key turning points are often marked by impactful exchanges that redefine relationships or shift the narrative direction. This coherence ensures that the story unfolds smoothly and meaningfully. In summary, the dialogue and scriptwriting of Furiosa are integral to its success as a film that combines thrilling action with thoughtful storytelling. The screenplay's concise, impactful dialogue, natural use of humor, effective exposition, and well-paced conversations create a rich narrative tapestry that supports character development and thematic exploration. Through carefully crafted lines, silences, and verbal exchanges, the script brings the film's world and characters to life, engaging audiences intellectually and emotionally. The marketing and promotion campaign for Furiosa played a crucial role in building anticipation, engaging audiences, and establishing the film's identity ahead of its release. Given the high expectations surrounding the film, both as a prequel to a beloved franchise and a standalone story, the promotional strategy was carefully designed to balance revealing enough to intrigue potential viewers without spoiling key plot points. This page explores how trailers, posters, social media, merchandising, and innovative promotional tactics combined to create a compelling marketing campaign that amplified the film's reach and impact. One of the initial marketing moves was the release of teaser trailers that emphasized the film's visual spectacle, the strength of its protagonist, and its connection to the broader narrative universe. These teasers focused heavily on action sequences, iconic vehicles, and the raw, dystopian atmosphere, giving audiences a glimpse of the film's energy and tone. The marketing team strategically withheld too many story details to maintain suspense, opting instead to highlight Furiosa as a symbol of empowerment and resilience. This approach effectively captured the imagination of both longtime fans and new audiences. The full-length trailers expanded on the film's plot hints, character dynamics, and dramatic stakes, while carefully balancing narrative mystery. These trailers showcase the film's scale and ambition, incorporating moments of tension and emotional depth to appeal to a wide demographic. Key lines from the dialogue were featured to create memorable hooks that sparked curiosity. The trailers also included glimpses of supporting characters, hinting at complex relationships and conflicts that would unfold on screen. Poster design was another key element of the campaign. The posters prominently featured Furiosa, often positioned against vast, desolate landscapes or in the midst of action, reinforcing her central role. The use of striking color contrasts and bold typography helped create a visual identity that was instantly recognizable. Variations of the posters highlighted different themes, from survival and rebellion to camaraderie and hope, aligning with the film's multifaceted narrative. Social media played a pivotal role in the promotional efforts. The marketing team launched dedicated pages across platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, sharing behind-the-scenes content, character spotlights, and interactive posts that encouraged fan engagement. Hashtags associated with the film trended regularly, fueled by official content and fan-generated material such as artwork and cosplay. Social media influencers and film critics were invited to exclusive screenings and Q&A sessions, generating buzz and authentic endorsements. One of the campaign's innovative strategies was the use of immersive experiences and virtual events. Pop-up installations and augmented reality filters allowed fans to explore the film's world interactively, creating a deeper connection before the film's release. These events also served as media moments, generating coverage and further excitement. Additionally, the filmmakers participated in interviews, panels, and podcasts, discussing the film's creative process and thematic intentions, which helped contextualize the story for potential viewers. Merchandising extended beyond traditional items like posters and apparel to include collectible figures, replicas of iconic vehicles, and even themed accessories like jewelry inspired by the film's costume design. This merchandise catered to dedicated fans and collectors, reinforcing the film's cultural footprint and providing tangible connections to its universe. Some limited edition items were released in collaboration with well-known brands, enhancing their appeal and reach. The campaign also strategically timed promotional efforts around major film festivals and conventions, leveraging these events' high visibility to showcase trailers, host panels, and engage directly with passionate fan communities. The presence at these venues reinforced the film's status within genre cinema and generated word-of-mouth anticipation. Critically, the marketing campaign was careful to present Furiosa as both a continuation of an established saga and a fresh, standalone story. This dual positioning helped attract viewers unfamiliar with previous films while satisfying fans eager for deeper exploration of the universe. Promotional messaging emphasized themes of empowerment, survival, and rebellion, aligning with contemporary cultural conversations and increasing the film's relevance. In summary, the marketing and promotion of Furiosa combined traditional techniques with innovative approaches to create a multifaceted campaign that built sustained excitement and broadened the film's appeal. By leveraging striking visuals, strategic storytelling, social media engagement, and immersive experiences, the campaign successfully positioned the film as a must-see event. These efforts not only enhanced box office performance, but also contributed to Furiosa's lasting cultural impact. Furiosa invites rich comparison not only with its predecessor films, but also with the broader landscape of post-apocalyptic cinema and action films. Analyzing it alongside related works reveals distinctive differences in tone, style, storytelling, and thematic focus that underscore its unique contribution to the genre. This comparative analysis explores how Furiosa aligns with, diverges from, and expands upon the legacy of earlier films, adaptations, and the director's previous projects, highlighting its innovations and place within cinematic history. The most immediate point of comparison is with Mad Max, Fury Road, the 2015 film that introduced Furiosa as a key character. While Fury Road is renowned for its relentless pace, kinetic action, and minimalistic dialogue, Furiosa takes a slightly different narrative approach. The prequel provides deeper character development, more expansive world-building, and a layered backstory that was only hinted at previously. Whereas Fury Road presented Furiosa primarily through action and visual storytelling, Furiosa delves into her origins, motivations, and transformation, offering a more introspective and emotionally nuanced portrait. Stylistically, both films share a commitment to high-octane action and striking visuals, but Furiosa incorporates a broader palette of tones. It balances intense chase sequences with quieter, character-driven moments, allowing for varied pacing that contrasts with the near-constant adrenaline of Fury Road. The prequel also expands the visual design by exploring new environments and cultures within the same dystopian universe, enriching the mythology and broadening the narrative scope. Compared to other post-apocalyptic films, Furiosa stands out for its emphasis on female empowerment and complex characterization within a traditionally male-dominated genre. Films like The Book of Eli or Children of Men explore survival and societal collapse, but often focus on male protagonists. Furiosa challenges genre conventions by placing a strong, multifaceted female lead at the center, thereby contributing to evolving representations in cinema. This shift aligns the film with more recent works that foreground women in action roles, such as Wonder Woman and Mad Max, Fury Road itself, marking progress in gender dynamics on screen. The film's narrative complexity also distinguishes it from many genre counterparts. While classic post-apocalyptic movies often emphasize external conflict and survival, Furiosa intertwines these elements with internal struggles around identity, trauma, and redemption. This dual focus deepens the story and resonates with contemporary audiences seeking layered storytelling beyond spectacle. From the perspective of the director's oeuvre, Furiosa showcases both continuity and growth. The director's hallmark features dynamic action choreography, immersive world-building, and thematic exploration of freedom and tyranny are evident here, but the prequel also reveals a willingness to explore more nuanced emotional terrain. This evolution demonstrates artistic maturation and an ability to adapt to changing audience expectations while retaining core stylistic signatures. In terms of visual effects and production design, Furiosa benefits from advances in technology and cinematic techniques developed since Fury Road. The film employs a combination of practical effects and digital enhancements to create seamless, immersive action scenes. This hybrid approach maintains the tactile realism that fans appreciate while allowing for more ambitious sequences and detailed environments. The comparison highlights how evolving technology can support storytelling innovation without compromising authenticity. When compared to other prequels or spin-offs, Furiosa avoids common pitfalls such as reliance on fan service or dilution of the original's impact. Instead, it expands the universe meaningfully, offering fresh perspectives and new narratives that enrich rather than merely extend the franchise. This thoughtful approach sets it apart from less successful franchise expansions, illustrating how prequels can enhance rather than hinder a cinematic legacy. In the realm of thematic exploration, Furiosa resonates with broader cultural and political discussions about power, resistance, and environmental collapse. Unlike some dystopian films that remain abstract, it grounds its themes in personal stories and relatable motivations, creating emotional accessibility. This grounding differentiates it from more allegorical or stylized works, providing a balance between message and entertainment. The film's reception compared to similar movies also reflects its unique position. While many action and sci-fi films receive mixed reviews for prioritizing spectacle over story, Furiosa is widely praised for marrying thrilling action with substantive narrative and character work. This success points to shifting audience desires and an industry trend toward more holistic filmmaking within genre cinema. In summary, Furiosa both honors and redefines the conventions of post-apocalyptic and action films. Through its nuanced character study, thematic depth, and innovative storytelling, it distinguishes itself from its predecessor, Mad Max, Fury Road, related genre entries, and franchise spin-offs. By balancing tradition with innovation, the film secures its place as a significant and influential work within contemporary cinema. Its comparative strengths demonstrate the potential for genre films to evolve while remaining entertaining and culturally relevant.